Admit it, Panthers, you made a mistake. That deal you blew. Came to Paul, said, what will it take? What's Young worth to you? Guess Tepper wanted him bad, but Poles he knew. He knew that he got the best of you. Got us DJing all these draft picks too. Looks like Poles got into Tepper's head. 2 1s and 2 2s. Plus got us something we didn't have. A star receiver too. Not just that deal would we win, but 2 last games too. It's true the Bears got the best of you. A win could have helped you save face for that deal. The regret that you feel, a bust, you must confess. Hey, Tepper Poles got the best of you. It's true the Bears got the best of you. The Bears! Ha! Hello, my friends, and welcome to another episode of On the Grass. My name is Dave Swerski, nephew of the legendary Bob and Bill of Bill Swerski Superfans on SNL, and I am so glad that you've chosen to come on over and hang out for a bit and talk football and our beloved team, the Bears, with me. On today's show, we're going to celebrate and recap our victory on Sunday, look forward to this weekend in London against the Jaguars, take a look back at the bad week of picks for me last week, yikes, and preview the upcoming slate of games in the NFL for Week 6. But first, please do me a big old favor and make sure you're subscribed to the channel, that you've liked this here video, and please do drop a comment to let me know that you're enjoying being on the grass with me. I also want to let you know right off the bat today, the merch is here, my friends. Let's go! That's correct, my online store run by the good folks at Raygun is live and roaring just like our Bears. So check out the link in the bio or in this description to be one of the first to get your hands on it. You can get one of 2 hoodies or one of 2 t-shirts to start, and we'll see where things go from there. This is a design I actually drew myself, so I'm pretty darn proud of how these turned out. I'll have them on my own hands in a few days so I can show you all what they look like, but I am pumped. So check out the link in the bio to get yours. Okay, first up, we had an acoustic version of a happy song, didn't we? This week's parody was based off of a Swerski version of Best of You by Foo Fighters, centered around a deal that keeps on giving. Let's go. So let's talk about that win on Sunday versus the Panthers, shall we? I gotta admit, my prediction was pretty spot on. The Bears will get off to their first fast offensive start of the year, and we will not look back. The defense will dominate the Red Rifle with multiple takeaways and sacks. And in a twist of fate, at halftime, Andy Dalton will retire, forcing Dave Canellis' hand to put Bryce Young back in the game. Unsurprisingly, this will not go well for them, as Bryce Young will cause the Panthers to lose worse than they already were. Final tally, Bears 182, Panthers -17. Now, the Floos told me after the game that while 182 was within reach for this team, they decided not to kick a cat when it was already down. But my prediction about Bryce Young having to play was sorta right. So Dalton didn't retire, but you're not gonna get him all right, am I right? So, after that first drive offensively for the Bears, which did not look so good, we were off to the races. Caleb has now thrown for more 300-yard passing games than Fields did in his entire time here. Kinda crazy, right? Again, that's not to throw shade, it's simply to remind folks who are not believing that this was the right decision that, at least in the humble opinion of this superfan, the future is bright. Would I have liked it to click a little earlier? Sure I would. Would I have liked to have had this game be against a better opponent so we could actually know that it's fully clicked in? Of course I would. But what I felt the whole time was this offense and Caleb specifically needed a game to get right and to just see the fruits of their labors and to see that there was potential. I wanted them to get it going and really start moving the ball to know it is possible and to build some confidence. At 3-2 feels great to me. And if we can get a win in London and go to the bye at 4-2, I think that's a hell of a start to this season with the new look Bears. The Bears are back. Bears. Now, I did want to point out just a few individual highlights from the game's stat lines. Caleb was 20 of 29 passing for 304 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions or fumbles. He finished with a 126.6 QB rating according to ESPN stats, and once again continued the upward momentum from week 1 to now. Guy is getting better and better and is looking more comfortable each week in this offense and in the NFL. I personally love seeing him already commanding the line of scrimmage, making checks and having to time at the line to see what the defense is showing him with some of the quick-paced speed that the offense has been using the past couple weeks. He looks like when I watched him in college and he had full command of that offense in USC. I credit Shade Waldron with what I assume was hearing his guys out and adapting to the suggestion box they presented him of ways to make the offense click after week 4's disappointment. Whatever they did, airing it out and try to figure it out seems to be trending in the right direction, so kudos to all. DeAndre Swift once again had over 100 total yards on the day and seems to have fully arrived. My fantasy team thanks him too, as I had high hopes for him in this season, and he's finally making me feel like I was right about him in this offense. He had 73 rushing yards and added 47 receiving for 120 total while getting into the end zone once on the ground. Roshan Johnson added 25 yards on the ground and 2 scores himself. But Swift, when he gets going, fast as lightning. So I hope him trending up continues, and I believe it will, my friends. DJ Moore topped 100 through the air with 2 TDs, so anyone who is still worried about that connection can breathe a sigh of relief. It appears the chemistry with him and Caleb is finally forming, and I feel we will just continue to see it grow. The O-line played much better this week as well, despite losing Tevin Jenkins once again, but Bill Murray looked great coming in relief, so
I got that going for me, which is nice.
Now, on to the monsters of the Midway, that defensive unit. 3 takeaways, and they just keep trucking along. Dexter is looking like a beast in the middle of the line, and that pick by Byard was sweet. I am a little concerned at how much we've let running backs rack up the yards on us, but as long as we can keep winning and taking the ball away, we should be okay. So, we are now in the midst of the first winning streak of the year. Let's go! The Bears! And it comes as the Bears head to London to take on the 1-4 Jaguars. I don't know about you, but I am personally kind of glad that the Jaguars pulled it out last week so that they weren't coming into our matchup desperate with no wins at all. Now, I love that our fearless and gloriously bearded coach, Toughless, decided to take the team to London early to get him acclimated and ready to roll. It's a business trip, he said, so I love going and getting used to the time difference and being as ready as possible on Sunday. And speaking of Sunday and London, let's just take a moment to realize that last weekend we had over 15 straight hours of NFL football. Simply incredible. While I doubt this Sunday night's game will go on quite as long as it did this past weekend, having our beloved team tee off all the action for the day is kind of exciting. And it should give me even more time to come up with what I assume will be another happy song after the game. Tune into my game preview and prediction on Friday for the full preview of that game. So with that, let's take a look at my picks from last weekend around the NFL. I'm sorry, my friends. I went 5-9 last weekend. Whoopsie daisy. Went out on a limb on a few picks and, what are you gonna do? Sometimes you're just wrong. Let's give it another try for week 6, shall we? Here we go. Niners over Seattle. Bucks beat the Saints. Ravens Commanders should be a good one. And no, I do not believe Jaden Daniels having a hot start means we got it wrong. But ultimately, I think the Ravens will pull this one out. Cardinals over the Packers. Do you notice a trend with my Packers picks? Green Bay sucks. Colts beat the Titans. Texans top the Patriots. Eagles beat the Browns and continue to make that organization regret that terrible deal they made with Watson. Chargers come out on top against the Broncos. Steelers bounce back and beat the Raiders and Justin gets to keep starting. Falcons take care of business against the Panthers. Lions beat the Cowboys. Bengals get the best of the Giants and win. And Monday night, the Bills bounce back from a tough loss and beat the Jets with the new interim coach after Aaron Rodgers got Robert Saleh fired. What did I say? We all know that's what happened. Mr. My ego is bigger than any room I enter was still salty about Saleh trying to show affection towards him on the sideline, I think. We all know Aaron Rodgers is pulling the strings there in New York, and this just furthers my belief in that assumption. So let's see how I do. All right, my friends, that's gonna do it for today's episode. Go get your shirts, all right? And if you pick one up, post a story on Instagram and tag me so that I can show off your nifty new wardrobe. Have a great rest of your week. Be kind to each other and be kind to yourself too. And go Bears! I'll see you soon, my friends.